Hello and welcome to the Missed Q. I'm your host, Ricky. With me is my co-host, Jackie.
Hi.
And we have a special episode today. We have Marcelo on
Hello.
with his lovely lady, Melissa.
Hello.
How are you guys doing?
Good.
Good.
Good. I wanted to have you both on because I felt like we should really acknowledge the spouses and partners of the actors that do shows a lot. Today's episode
Our
is
way to honor them.
yes. So today's episode is a nod to the spouses, life partners that are left at home while we're at rehearsals.
Until all hours of the night.
Until all hours of the night. The shows
gosh.
go on a long time. So let's start with you two. How long have you been together?
Almost 3.5 years.
Yeah, October 29th.
Okay, and you recently got back into the theater scene
Yep.
a couple years ago, and that was after you two started dating, correct? Yep. So she met you as a non-actor.
Yep.
Okay.
Ooh.
Started the relationship
Non-actor.
there. All right. Obviously.
That's different.
Obviously, that went very well. Then, Marcelo, you started getting back into theater after, what, 10 years?
Yeah, it's been a long run without doing any shows and
What was the reason for that?
being a dad, and working, the regular
Life.
9 to 5, your life.
Yep.
And so it as much as I love doing theater, it takes so much time. It's another job, and it's a lot of commitment that everyone takes on, with even their personal lives going on.
Yeah, and I feel like that gets overlooked because Melissa, once he started doing theater again, obviously you were very supportive of it, but it's definitely a challenge as a non-theater person to have him gone.
Yeah.
So that took some getting used to.
Yeah.
What was your first show back? Footloose.
Footloose.
Okay.
Yeah, Lauren or Grace called me and they asked me to audition for the part of Chuck Cranston. I was hesitant at first just because of everything, 2 kids, work, and school. At the time I was getting ready to start taking my hazmat testing for fire. And so I ended up just taking another, load on my plate, and it ended up working out pretty well. But because the last show that we did, I ended up getting my results for hazmat. I didn't pass, but I ended up redoing it later on, and then I did pass. But it just worked out perfectly, and it was a good time. It made me realize how much I love and missed it. And what was really nice was coming back. It was a whole new generation, whole new people, but we still had a good amount of the core people that I remember.
Right, especially backstage.
Exactly. Like Tom was still back there, and Lauren, Grace, Mel,
Eileen up in that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Eileen up in that booth.
Yep. God, I love Eileen.
Yeah, she's great. I love her. So, what was that like? Just experiencing, because you had him home basically, other than his work schedule. You had him home all the time, right? Or am I wrong?
No, yeah. We've spent a lot of time together because of the way our work works. So we work together because he works in one department and I work the other. But it's very important for our departments to mingle because they fix everything.
It looks like you guys took the mingling too far. But,
Hey,
I
yo.
mean, hey.
Worked out well.
Okay, so you spent a lot of time during the workday together then.
Well, not necessarily together, but we are in communication a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when he started having to be away from rehearsals, what was that adjustment like?
It was weird at first, but he really liked it, so it went well. The kids keep me occupied for sure.
So you saw that it made him happy.
Yeah, really happy. But he's always been super theatrical at work, and everybody at work knows that because I've actually known him for like the last 8 years. And so like I always knew he was really into this stuff. I just never had been his partner while he was in the stuff until he did Footloose.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. It was a good time.
That's awesome. So Footloose, you played Chuck Cranston.
Yep.
First role back, the first role you saw him in,
Yeah.
and that was the first role. How old are your kids?
At the time, Amelia was,
She's going to be 8 in July.
this was,
Okay.
2 years ago? So she was 6,
Okay.
5, 6, and Cinna was 10?
9.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're at an age where they can enjoy theater,
Yeah.
and appreciate it. So it must have been crazy for them to see you play such a mean guy.
It was.
Yeah.
It was a huge shock to them because, okay, I mean, no matter what, in my personal experience, like dads are big, and when they need to be mean, they have to be mean. I was just mean the whole time.
So his dad on mean mode.
Dad
the whole
on
time.
mean mode, and they
Yeah.
hated it.
They
The
do
worst
not like
version
mean
for
mode
them,
dad.
and it was just that was you for 2
They
hours.
hated it.
Well, and for those people that don't know Marcelo who are listening, like he is the nicest, kindest person and will like give you the shirt off his back, like help you with whatever you need. To see him playing Chuck.
Yeah, like if there
I'm
was
sure
a
it
roach
was
in the
so
house, he
strange.
would let it outside. And
No, literally.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
that's
don't kill it,
100%
yeah.
how he is.
If you said don't kill it, I won't kill it. But naturally, I would kill it.
right, okay, just
You're
just
so
just let people
front
know
right
I'm
now.
a man.
I am.
Right?
No, he's so front right
Yeah.
now. He's like, oh, is that a jumping spider? Let me put it where it would actually
love
love to
jumping
live its
spider.
life. Like he's like,
Yeah, where can it jump the most?
Yeah, I think the only bug you kill is like flies.
Yeah, I hate flies.
Oh, flies are the worst.
Yeah.
So Chuck Cranston,
Chuck Cranston.
huge difference
Yeah.
though. It was you in bug killing mode the
Absolutely.
entire time.
Yeah, 100%. You know, and it's funny because I've played other roles like Chuck in the past, and it's very hard for me to get in tune and alignment with these characters.
Yeah, but this time you were aware that your best gal and your children
We're there.
were there watching.
Yeah.
So, I mean, were you totally in the zone?
I was.
Or was that on your mind?
It was, you know, when I'm on stage and I know family and friends are watching, I try to zone that out just because if I start to think like, oh, like
What's my best angle?
What's what would Harvey do? You know, no, it's one of those situations that I want to keep it consistent. If I have to improv or if something happens, like try to stay on my toes. But me personally, I'm very rigid. I like to keep it consistent to whatever our director says. But there was a moment in there where I grab Erin from the Burger Blast because she's talking to Ren, and I move her to the wall, and I smacked the wall right next to her face. And I just remember hearing the audience going,
The kids did not like it
Oh,
when we were
yeah.
sitting
Well,
there.
because that angle, it's upstaged. So
Yeah.
it looks like
yes.
It looks like
it's like
it.
whoa, bro.
Yeah, and then I didn't realize that I was so into the scene that when I smacked the wall, that feedback on all the mics went off. And so like they had to turn down the mics and it was just dead silent. And I just see Aaron looking at me like he almost hit me. And it really
You went full Daniel Day-Lewis.
I went full Daniel
Wow.
Day-Lewis. Yeah. You know, I drank that milkshake. It was nice that going from the tail end of my hiatus, having ensemble roles, to coming back years later to have a supporting role of that caliber, and then asking me again to audition for Usnavi. And it's nice because I want them to continue to be like, oh, like he's dependable. He knows his stuff. If we need him, he's got it.
Well, you and I played against each other
Absolutely.
in West Side Story,
Yeah.
Riff and Bernardo. It was incredible. So you
was.
really showed your acting chops, I think, in that. And that was kind of right before your hiatus.
Yeah.
So you left on a very good note, I think. And then when you came back, you had already, set that standard, I think, in certain eyes that you're capable of doing basically anything.
I try. I want to keep challenging I want to keep getting those challenges.
Right. So your most recent challenge was there anything between Footloose and In the Heights?
No.
So you went from Chuck Cranston to Usnavi.
Well, Footloose was supposed to be like his like final hurrah, is what he said. So he was like, "I'm gonna."
Your comeback was your final hurrah.
So he was like, "Yeah," he was like,
Get out of
He goes, "I'm gonna do one last show," and I was like, "Oh, good for you. That's gonna be fun. Like, love that kind of thing." And he goes, does the show, and I remember after that first one, we walk out, and I hadn't seen any Grace Arts shows in a long time. So we go out to be like, congratulations, blah, blah, blah. And he was so happy. I was like, this ain't it. He's going to get another one for sure.
He's front.
It's an amazing feeling.
Right?
It is an amazing feeling.
Literally, everybody signed the guitar he played too because he
Yeah.
played the guitar.
Yeah.
And then it had everybody sign it, and it sits on the wall in our living room. And I remember just being like, that's so funny that there was all this, like, this is my last show, and you're 100% going to be on stage soon.
Did you tell other people that it was your?
No.
Oh, okay, good thing.
It just depends with the career choices that I'm making. And with everything going on, a lot of that's on pause. So if I decided to do another show, I have that availability to do it, which is nice. But there will be a time where I might have to take a hiatus again.
Right. Well, hopefully you and I get to be on stage together
Before that.
because I still haven't been able to do a show with you. Timing
know.
just hasn't worked out.
West Side was the last one.
Yeah. So it's been 12 years since you and I have been on stage together.
It has.
So, and we've both been on the stage,
Just recently, yeah.
just missing each other.
Yep.
Oh, that sucks.
It has, man.
Jackie, have you acted with Marcelo on stage?
I have. Well, yeah.
Kinda.
Were we ever on stage at the same time? No.
No.
So the last show you did
Well,
was Peter
curtain
Pan.
call.
Marcelo, for the listeners, Marcelo played a pirate
I did. I was stalking.
in Peter Pan.
It was so
and Jackie
good.
played Mrs. Darling.
Yeah.
So no, we're not.
We were never on stage together except for the curtain call.
And you know what's funny? We just did Peter Pan, but we did it, 10, 11 years ago?
Yes, you and I did it together a long
Yes.
time. Yeah.
I was the exact same pirate.
Gosh, Starkey.
I was Starkey
I
both
love
times.
that.
Yep. I loved it. Mutiny and jumping off the bridge, the boat. It was a good time.
Those pirates are all just so good.
I know.
I still think I should have come on and done the Tarantella.
You should have.
We joked every night. I was like, I'm going to come do it tonight. Tonight, I'm going to come be a pirate.
But then Jackie was like, I do not want this to be my last show.
Right? I'm like, this might be yours, but I don't want it to be mine.
Wow. So you're open to more shows.
Absolutely.
But the real question is, Melissa, are you open to him doing more shows?
Absolutely not. No, I'm just kidding. Of course. Yeah.
I was like, oh my God.
Now, I think, like
this is about to get spicy.
Right?
but,
And-
well, so in this situation, is there a limit? One a season, one a year? Like, there's obviously an agreement there.
Not
We've
really.
never talked about it.
It's you've never had to. But I like, if there were 3 shows in a row, I feel like you would just support him. I'm going to stop myself.
Yeah,
right
you know
there.
what's funny?
You're
I
just
would.
so
Like, I-
supportive of him.
Here's the line. Here's how it would go. I'd be like, Melissa, these are the shows. This is the lineup. I'm thinking of doing all 3. She'd go, I support all your endeavors.
That's exactly what I
That is
said,
the
okay?
line. I
'Cause when-
support all your endeavors.
Well, because it's a lot. Like, so Amelia and Senna are both in school, and it's great. Marcelo's very supportive of me. I'm very supportive of him. All of our dreams, it's great. But I didn't realize how much it was until he was gone. Like
Because you have to pick up the slack.
Yes, so like all of the cleaning, all of the laundry, all of the food, all of the prepping, all the stuff.
Yeah, the
and I was like, this
lunches.
is a lot. Like,
it is.
And I'm assuming Marcelo lets you know how much he appreciates
He
that.
did.
He is that type of guy.
he
And
did say it quite a bit.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think that's the key is him not just taking it for granted and realizing how awesome that is of you.
Yeah. And then so I also do online school like for college. And so it was like doing my homework, doing like going to work and then helping the kids with their homework and doing dinner and making sure food was ready on time before he left. So that way he'd have something to eat during rehearsals. And I remember it being so much. And there was one day where I was so tired and I was like, well, I'm just going to cook lunch in the morning before work, which now is like no big deal. Now I have like I have it down pat. But I remember that day I was like, I'm so tired. And I made a really super gross lunch. It was unflavorful. It was nasty. And I went to work and I was so mad because I was like, man, I didn't cook this the way I wanted to. And I was so
The one
upset.
highlight of my day.
And Marcelo ate every bit of it and was like, it was really good because he could tell, I think, that I was really tired that day. And I was like, thanks. I was like, I love you.
Yeah, it's a partnership, and
Yeah.
that's how it should be.
It was still delicious. I stand by that.
So I don't think that you guys are going to have a problem with this sort of thing. And there's a lot of people out there that are in your position
Yeah.
that support their partners, and it's really they're the real MVPs, I feel.
Right, because they're not up on the stage getting the bow or the applause, but yet they're at home doing all the stuff.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And let's face it, you're even promoting Marcelo. Like,
Yeah.
you're promoting him. Like, oh, you see him in this show. You're like selling tickets for Marcelo.
I literally will be checking people in at the front desk, and I'm like, oh, you know what's going on this weekend, actually? There's a theater in town. It's called Grace Arts, local theater, super cute. They're selling tickets online for this show. Like, I really am one of those people.
Yeah.
That's great.
So it must have been a relief, though, to see him as Usnavian in The Heights because, first of all, it's a great role. And I mean, I know you probably know that he's talented.
Yeah.
But to see him live.
It was so good.
It was good.
It was very
You
good.
don't.
I got
get
a
an
little
opinion,
emotional.
Marcelo. We're not talking.
Thank you.
I did get a little emotional. So, I mean, if you know Marcelo, you know he doesn't listen to a lot of rap. And so he like shows me the thing, and I was like, "You're gonna rap?" Like I was like, "What are you gonna do?" kind of thing. And
All right, Vanilla.
I was like,
serious.
I literally was like,
I was
I'm
like,
cooked. I can't do it.
And I was so nervous for him because I know he's really good at singing. He's really good at a lot of things. I've heard him imitate a lot of things, and I've always thought he was so amazing. But then when he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna rap on stage," I was like, "Oh, bananas! This is gonna be something." Like, and so
You're like, I am there opening night.
no, 100%. And then he was all day, every day from the second he found out he was Usnavi. It was nonstop practice. And I was like, wow, you've gotten really good. So then when he was on stage, I was like, I really wanted to cry because I was like, you're doing so good. I was so proud of him.
I was nervous.
So proud of
I was
him.
sweating bullets.
I'll
And again,
bet.
that comes with, it was something that I enjoy rap music. I enjoy some hip hop, but it's not what like the music that drives me. But it was nice too, and it made me really appreciate more of that. And not only that, but the show, it's culturally close to me and the whole Latin community. So it made me kind of more rooted on that. But yeah, I like that challenge. I was very nervous, and I'm glad that I was able to.
I remember asking people, I'm like, how did Marcelo do? Because again, I was upset that you were doing a show, that you agreed to do a show that I wasn't in. And I'm like, oh my God.
Well, I remember I was like, I don't even know who this person is. And you were like, oh my God, it's Marcelo. He's going to kill at that role. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Did.
I don't know. I'm like,
It's a
I don't know
tough
who
role.
this person is. And I remember sitting there watching him and I was like, I need to know him. He's very talented.
Yeah, everybody was like, oh my gosh, Marcelo knew all of his words and he was just
I bet he
did the
still
whole
knows it
thing.
now.
I actually do.
Oh, do you know all of it?
Yeah,
like the whole
pretty
show?
much.
Majority. The whole show,
Okay,
majority.
I got a
Ricky
challenge
has a
for
challenge.
you. I have a challenge for
Oh,
you.
man.
Because I happen to know the Benny lines.
Oh, do you?
From a certain scene, not the opening.
Okay.
This is the bar scene
Oh, okay.
after Vanessa blows you off.
Okay.
So when Benny goes, yo,
Yo,
who's Vanessa talking to?
some dude.
Some dude that's messed up. She's trying to make you jealous.
Jealous? I ain't jealous. I could take all these fellas, whatever.
Yeah, you still got it. Yeah. I love it.
That's because we still listen to it every
Oh
week.
my gosh, how could you not? I love
so
playing
good.
it
Kids
well.
love it. Like they fell in love with the show as much as I did. Like, and it was nice to grow that love or start to, see that love with that. And like this summer, my kids are gonna be in the workshop, so I'm hoping this also snowball effects into them becoming a new generation.
Making it easier for you to get permission to do shows for yourself.
Yeah.
I literally, but that's what I was gonna say is when he's like, "This is what she would do." I support all. I would, because when he goes, "Yeah, I'm gonna do another show," I was like, "Oh, that's a lot." Like in my head, I was like, "Oh."
He's like, yeah, but this one's Peter Pan and Cinna's gonna be in it too.
No,
Right.
it was in
Did
the
that
Heights.
make it easier?
No, it was in the Heights. Was when he was like, "I'm gonna do it again," and I was like, "Oh, okay," kind of thing. And I was nervous, but then he was. But then I learned more about it and was like, "Oh, for sure, this is so you."
Yeah,
But
it
that's what
was
I said. He
perfect
goes, "Are
role.
you okay with me doing another show?" And that's exactly what I did. I went, "I support all your endeavors," because I was like, whatever makes
Yeah.
you happy. Because I also
So-
don't want to be the person that holds him back. And then he's like bitter, like, "I hate this lady. She won't let me go on stage."
Right, right.
Yeah.
Or you guys would go see the show together and they'd be cheering for Usnavi and he'd be like, that could have been me. Could have been me.
If you would have let me.
That would have been so terrible.
This could be me, but you want to be together.
Yeah. But then it was super cute when he did Peter Pan with Cinna.
And I know we've talked that you hadn't even planned on doing Peter Pan,
No, I didn't.
but Cinna wanted to do it.
Yep.
He
And
wanted to be in a
then-
show so bad.
And then
'Cause
we
he saw
always
his
need-
dad.
We always
Yeah.
need pirates.
I wanna be
think
as
that's what
cool
it
as
was.
Dad.
I think
Yeah.
I think it was refreshing for them to be like, "Oh, my dad is so mean on stage," and like not be about him being footloose at all. Like they did not like seeing him so mean. But then when they saw him as Usnavi, they're like raved about it. So I think that was their moment where they were like, "Yeah, this is really cool."
It's cool, inspiring people.
It is. It is. And, I had a good time. And me and, Senna was a lost boy and I was a pirate. So we didn't interact as much on there. But obviously the drive there, drive back, we'd talk about it.
It's a bonding thing.
It is. It really is. The late nights. And I remember, and it's going to always be stuck in my head, where he was like, the next morning, he goes, "Dad, I'm tired. Can I stay home from school?" I'm like, "Nope. If I have to go to work, you got to go to school. And then we got to go to rehearsals."
Dude, Nolan struggles too with that.
Yeah.
And they're about the same age.
I would go in there and I would wake him up and I'd be like, "Okay, Santa, time to get up," and he would go, "No," and I was like, "Ooh," and then during Hell Week, he was getting home so late, and I was like, as the person I am, I was like, it is so late. Do they know what time it is? He has school in the morning. Like,
And I'm over
there's
here with Nolan
testing.
like, this is what it takes, Nolan.
I know.
Right?
I literally.
You
but
want
I
this,
was.
this
You
is what
are
it
a
takes.
bad Lent.
was-
Show it.
It was.
Ricky's like, you have to stay 10 minutes later than everyone else.
Gosh, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Please don't pay me like that on
It
this
was
podcast.
so, but I have a picture on my phone. I came out after I was done getting ready for work and I was getting ready to take him to school. And Senna has a blanket wrapped up on the couch, passed out. Like he's fully dressed for school, teeth brushed, breakfast ate, and he's just like sleeping because he was so tired. I felt so bad.
I know that feeling so well.
Yeah. I was like,
Like
oh,
those
poor
late
kid.
night rehearsals sometimes just get you.
Yeah.
They do. They catch up, especially Hell Week.
Yeah.
That was actually the hardest Hell Week. Not even within the Heights. Peter Pan was rough.
Well, that show is so long.
It's a long show. There's a big cast. So many moving parts.
A lot of children. Like it's a lot of pieces.
But it is so fun. I love it.
Yeah, seeing you're out in the audience, just
Yeah.
enjoying the show.
Yep.
Having no idea the chaos that's
Oh no,
ensuing
because I
out
started
back.
going to rehearsals to bring them food and stuff, and I was like, oh my god, this is so much work. Love watching it though.
You're like, I love watching it and I'm going to go now. Bye.
Yeah, it is a lot of work backstage and mostly backstage, let's face it.
It is. It is.
It does seem like a lot of work.
Yeah.
Well, because in Peter Pan, you weren't just a pirate. You were a pirate and you were stage crew. And you were doing all of those other things. You were tying up the Lost Boys before they went on the boat. Like during intermission, everyone else is relaxing and you're moving sets and then tying up 11
I bet
children.
Marcelo volunteered.
I did not actually. They kind of. They said, "Who knows how to tie rope?" And I said, "I do."
You know they're asking for a
Whenever they ask
You
something.
never put your hand up.
Well, that's okay. I went to go drop off food, and when I walked in, they were still decorating the trees, and somebody saw me, and I was like, "Oh, hi, how are you guys?" They were like, "Good. Can you help put this and glue this on here?" And I was like, "Yes, I will," because I was like nervous. I was
Because
like,
theater, you just say yes and.
yes, I was like, yeah, sure. And then that was the joke. People were coming out, and I'm like on a ladder, like gluing stuff to this tree. And I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't even learned everyone's names yet. Like, I don't even know really what I'm doing. And then Lee came out. He was like, oh, so you're going to be a part of stage crew? And I was like, I don't know about that. I still got homework to do. I'm not even supposed to be here right now.
Well, thank you so much for being here, guys. We just really wanted to just let people know about that side of it. The partners of the actors and the people who are behind the scenes in the family life when it comes to theater. So I think it's a very underappreciated thing that nobody really talks about enough. So I just want to say thank you, Melissa, for letting the theater borrow Marcelo.
Hey, they can borrow him anytime.
And to all of the spouses out there of actors, thank you for lending your partner.
You're welcome. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you're welcome. No, well, and also like think about being a kid and having your parent being gone at rehearsal all the time. Like that has to be tough. So I think making sure that the moments you do have when you're not at rehearsal are quality moments, like with your kid, are so important.
Oh, and
which I
Marcelo
feel like
does do that.
I was like, I feel like Marcelo is one of those people that like when he's not at rehearsal and he's home, like he's making up for those times. Not that he has to make up, but you know what I mean?
want
Like
to.
you want
he
to.
is.
That's the type of person you are. Like you want to make sure that you have that quality time with your kids,
But now you found that quality time with
bringing
Senna
them into the show.
into yeah.
Yeah.
So
What I
Imagine
So
if all
does
three
Amelia-
of you could be in a show together.
That's the
That's the plan.
so does Amelia have any aspirations of the
She's
stage?
excited. She's excited. She, of course, also wants to be a penguin for the workshop
Yeah.
and everything. But I mean, again, we're gonna find out this month
Well-
if she's gonna shine. She's dramatic too, so I think she like.
I feel like she's going to be great.
Once
She's
she kind of
super,
gets,
yeah.
Once she gets through that, like, oh, I don't know anyone, I don't know this place.
It's the audition process that
Yeah.
these kids that's that struggle to get through, you know, because I mean, for anybody, not just kids, but for anybody starting out in theater, the audition process is always tough. But once
Yeah.
you get past that, once you get past that first step, then the whole process
Yeah.
is fun and it's just awesome.
You know, I had a couple kids at workshop this week that like they were nervous to audition, and I was like, "Do you want me to stand up there with you?" And I did, and then they were great. Like they just wanted me to stand next to them.
Yeah. So for Amelia, I feel like when she sings, she gets like nervous sometimes, but I feel like the second she makes eye contact with Marcelo, she's like comforted. Like she's like, oh, it's fine kind of thing. She's like, my dad can do it. I can do it. She
Yeah.
all the time
Oh,
she
that's
says
awesome.
things. Yeah.
She sang "Castle on a Cloud" before her little audition.
was
We couldn't
so
make it
cute.
for the auditions for Peter Pan and everything else because both the kids got sick. but they both wanted to send a video. Cinna's saying, be our guest, and Amelia's saying, Castle on a Cloud. And that, like she says, like she's very, like at first very down, but once, I comforted her and she just did the rest. Like
She's really
memorized
cute.
it within a day.
Yeah.
Like,
Wow.
Awesome.
Or we'll be driving in the car and we can hear her singing. So we'll like slowly turn the music down a little bit just to hear her because she's so cute.
Well, Marcelo, thank you for inspiring. Melissa, thank you for tolerating.
And for promoting the theater with your
Absolutely.
work. Like, that's huge.
And remember, there's no excuse for a Mr. Late Q. Now you can say whatever you want.
I don't have anything to say now.
And just like that, we're at the end of another fun-filled episode of The Missed Q. We hope you loved the conversation as much as we did. Feel free to share your thoughts, ask questions, or simply say hi. We can't wait to hear from you.
Don't forget, you can always catch up on previous episodes and keep up with us on social media. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And we'd love for you to be a part of the Missed Q community.
A big thank you to all of our listeners for tuning in. Your support means the world to us. We'd appreciate it if you could subscribe, rate, and leave us a review.
Until we meet again, remember, there's no excuse for a missed or late Q.